Hello everyone. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know. Tell me if there's an echo. I hope there's not an echo. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Welcome, Squirrel. I'm glad this is your first time. I'm so excited you're here. Welcome, Salt Mist 5x5. Okay, no echo. Praise the Lord. Thank you, God. We're learning. We're still learning. Southern Prepper is in the house. Or I'm sorry, Southern Tier Prepper is in the house. Welcome, welcome. Um, okay, thank you, Squirrel 5x5. Salt Mist is in here. STX Preparedness is in here. Hello. Good, 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 good. And then we should have a few more coming after pinball is finished tonight. We should have a few more, and then I have some friends coming over from my group. So hopefully they will be here, guys. I think I think I always have a great live, but I'm still new to this game, and so I'm just glad that you guys have joined me tonight. I want to thank you guys for coming on, and just to remind you, if you're new in here, just don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you go to the links in the description, you will find the link to my blog site. And if you click there, go to the More tab and then click on the newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter, because you get on Monday, you get the Warrior devotional. On Tuesday, you get the Warrior blog. And you guys, if you subscribe in there, all you do is you give me your name and your email address so that I can send you this information that I write. And it's a blessing to have these things. It's free. I don't charge you anything for them. And so if you want to go sign up for that, you get that first in your mailbox. And then Thursday and Friday, those publications go to socials. So you actually get them before anyone else does. So make sure that you sign up there at the blog site, and then you can see all of the other links there that I have. So welcome again. Tonight we have a really good lineup of stuff to talk about. And I want you guys to talk there in the chat and ask me questions. So if you want to ask me a question, make sure you throw the @ sign in there, put God's Prepared Warrior, click that, because I'll see it. And then ask your question in all caps so that I know that is a question that needs an answer. And hopefully I can answer those questions. So welcome tonight, guys. Again, just real quick, I want to... Prep Rebel is probably not in here yet because he's still in Pinball's page, but I just want to throw some shout outs tonight. So Prep Rebel is my only moderator, and so I'm very thankful for Prep Rebel being part of God's Prepared Warrior team, and just wanted to throw a shout out to him. Southern Tier Prepper is here tonight with us. Yay. And she, if you check her out, I follow her on YouTube and on Facebook, and she shared today that she just recently had surgery, and so I want all of you guys to say a prayer for her. I love her post she posted. She said, "What are you doing to prep this weekend?" And this is one of the questions I always ask in the channels that I'm a part of. What are you prepping this weekend? And I love what she wrote. She says, I'm focusing on healing, praying, and planning for our new home, hopefully soon. So I read that today, and I thought, Southern Tier Prepper, I want you to know that I'm praying for you. I've been praying for you and your family ever since the incident with your home. And so been praying for you through your surgery, and I know that God's Prepared Warrior Team is going to be praying for you also through your recovery. So just wanted to share that. I'm glad you were here tonight, Senator Prepper. And if you got to go, we totally understand. You get some rest, and just know that we are praying. We're praying for you and your family, and we're praying for that home that you are looking to get soon. So we're praying for that. So welcome everyone else. Kitten, welcome Kitten. I'm glad you joined us tonight. Jamie, thank you for joining tonight. You are welcome, Southern Tier Prepper. So tonight we have a pretty good lineup of stuff to talk about tonight, guys. So the DNC is over. Thank you, Jesus. All that mess is over. I don't know if you tuned into any of that. I didn't want to listen to any kind of lies, so I just didn't watch it. So that's over and done with, and so now I guess we can move on. We can move on with our lives, right? So that happened, and so the other thing that happened was Donald Trump had a rally yesterday, and yesterday Robert Kennedy was there in attendance, and he endorsed President Trump, and they are now uniting forces. And so we saw that. We know that that's happening. So those are just a few things that I wanted to share with you. I don't know if you've seen that or not. I don't know if you know this one, but lockdown has started here in the United States, and in Oxford, Massachusetts, it goes on lockdown at least till October. So the reason why it's going on lockdown is because mosquitoes are carrying a very deadly virus called triple E. I am not going to try to pronounce that thing because it's beyond my skill level. But anyway, mosquitoes are carrying a very deadly virus, and someone actually was bitten, stung, one of those, by a mosquito, and is now in the hospital. He's fighting for his life. Only one person that has gotten this disease, and apparently this disease is really, really bad. So one of the things that so this thing causes is swelling in the brain, and there is no treatment for it because I'm guessing it's a brand new disease. Anyone can be infected by it, and then the death rate is as high as 30%. So this one individual that has it, they because of that, because it's a new disease, they have enacted curfew, and curfew goes from 6 p.m. I guess till the morning. And they did the curfew because they wanted to stop outdoor activities because of the mosquitoes, and this also included club sports like stuff in school. And so they've enacted this curfew, and the city council says that this is just a recommendation for people to be on this curfew, but it's not a hard stop requirement. So there is a curfew. Don't go outside. Don't get stung by mosquitoes, and you don't get sick. But if you have to go outside, I guess you have to go outside, right? So that is in the news here lately, and so that town there in Massachusetts has gone on a temporary lockdown. So I like to take these kinds of things, and I like to ask people, if this was happening where you live, are you prepared for this thing, right? Um, I can't even imagine, some of the people who are affected in this in Oxford, because I can imagine that there are a lot of people who say, right, you know, I need to go to the store, and so it's a risk you take, right, to go to the store, um, and so what preps do you have, right? Do you have insect repellent? Um, do you have shirts with long sleeves? That would definitely help. Wear pants. Don't wear shorts. Um, if you've been prepping, if you've been camping, if you've been fishing, I'm going to say all those extracurricular activities, maybe even hunting, and you've been in an area where there's a lot of bugs. They sell this bug net, right, that you can wear over your hat and your face. And so if you have to go out, I would imagine you would be long sleeve, wearing, maybe even wearing that, right, so you don't get stung. But what are the preps that you need to have in the event that a lockdown is in place where you live, right? I mean, as preppers, we stockpile food, we prep for those things, and we should be, right. We prep our water, but I just know, because I see it in the city that I live, right. A hurricane could come and hit Texas. I'm gonna be honest with you. A hurricane could be coming to hit Texas, just like the few that have, right, this year. And I live inland. I don't live on the coast, and I live central, or I live right in the middle of Texas. And so, even where I live, if the hurricane is hitting tonight, right now at HEB, that's our local grocery store. Well, that's all of Texas, right? Everybody is at HEB, and the parking lot is full, right? If you've ever been to Texas and you know HEB, it's the best store anyway. Their parking lots, if it's a bigger HEB, their parking lots are huge, and I've seen them packed plumb full when there's a hurricane coming to town, when it's going to rain really bad. People flock to the stores at the last minute. I've seen Costco, the gas lines at Costco, the gas lines at Sam's, just backed up because this storm is coming, and people waited till the last minute. I've done TikTok videos on parking lot in Costco a while back, so like maybe last summer. So what are the preps that you are doing, right, for yourself? Not just on whenever things happen. What are the preps that you are prepping for, right? There should always be a prep that you have in mind that you're doing, right? There should be things that you do with your preps, right? So I'm a big advocate on practicing with your preps. That is taking your go bag, right? Going through it, right? You want to go through your go bag. You want to go through your get home bag. And you want to make sure that you have everything in there and in working order, right? That means that if you have a flashlight attached to it, your flashlight is either charged if it's able to be recharged, or it should have batteries. You should have extra batteries in that bag just in case, right? All of that stuff should be ready to go, right? You should practice grabbing that bag, and if you have a location to go to fall back to in the event you need to go somewhere, right, when poop hits the fan, what is that time? What is that thing that you do when you tell your family, hey, we got to go. Let's go. Grab your stuff. We got to go. Time yourself. What does the time take to get from point A to point B, right? And then once you've done that exercise, take that time, maybe wait a month or two, try it again and try to beat that time, right? And once you get into this rhythm, in the event that things happen, you've actually done this so many times that it has become muscle memory. And every time you've probably forgotten something, right? But when that time comes, if you've been doing those things, you won't forget anything, because the last time you forgot, but this time you remembered, and so on and so on and so on, right? Maybe it's going through your pantry and it's organizing it, right? Maybe it's taking that can of refried beans that's already been there like 2 years, and maybe making a meal with it and going for it, right? It's funny, we have those tuna sleeve packs, and I was like maybe a couple of weeks ago or a month ago. I didn't want to. I was lazy. I didn't want to make my meal for work, because I usually prep my meals for work, and so I said, no, I'll just take some tuna, and so I grabbed one of those tuna packet thingies and threw it in my bag. Threw some mayonnaise in there. Threw some bread slices. Threw a bag of chips in there, and that was my lunch for that day. So I get to work, and all my friends that are there, they're, hey Fernando, what are you? They're always interested in what I'm eating, and so I'm just making tuna today, and so I zipped open the bag and started making my tuna, and one of my coworkers comes by, hey, look at this. Did you see the expiration date on here? And I said, oh yeah, what's the date? He said, this is like 2 years old. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, you're gonna still eat it? And I'm like, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. And so I made it and I started eating. He's like, I want to try that. So with him, I had a conversation. We had a conversation about the dates and things of food, and now he's prepping, right? So I think it's times like these that we have to look at what we have, and we have to make sure that everything's in working order, because the days are getting shorter. It's not a surprise that if you follow the socials a lot, you will see that people are talking about things happening in November, right? So it's not a surprise that things could kick off, and that should be a temperature for you, right? It should be, I actually need to be prepping for November, right? And because we don't know what's going to happen, right? Because either way it goes, stuff can happen either way, right? So, but here lately, people have been sounding the alarm that October is the month that things go down. So, I don't know where you fall on all of that, or if you follow all of that, or maybe you've never heard about that, right? Yeah, it's time to be prepping. If you're not prepping, you do not want to be the last person at the last minute going to the store and there be nothing there for you and your family. That is something very vivid to me and in my mind because of COVID. And so it's because of COVID that I am the way I am today. And so, I am looking out for me and my family. And so somebody asked me the other day, they said, but Fernando, won't God provide for you? And I said, yes, God will provide for me. He does. But he also says in his word that I have to work, right? If I want to eat, I have to work. And so, I'm not going to blindly live life and just say, oh, yeah, God will take care of me. I don't got to worry about a thing. No, we actually have to be doing our part as well. And so I tell you that because these are the things that are coming out. These are the things that I'm seeing on social media, in the back rooms, and there's a lot more people that are getting ready for things to happen. And so it seems like October is the month that they're saying. So either way, I am prepping and I am doing those things. And today I am a bad prepper because I said I'm gonna do a video on my get home bag, and that's this bag right here. So I am gonna do a video on that bag, but I'm just missing a few things that I don't have on here that I just saw. And this is my bag that I take to work every single day. And this bag, my wife says, babe, your bag is so heavy. And I go, yeah. She's got, you got a lot of work in there? I'm like, no, it's just, my calendar and maybe a folder with some stuff, and that's it. And the rest is prepping stuff. So it's getting home. So in case I have to, hump it home, I have things there that can get me through. So, the days are slowly coming down to a wind as we get closer to November, and so we have to be prepared. And so it's important that we are in that mode. So we have to be prepping. So keep prepping. Jamie says, I hate to have to bug out with a cat. Oh, I have a cat too. That would be a hard thing because my cat is ornery. Yeah. Jamie says, I think before the end of September. You're right. You're actually right. Southern Cheer says, as long as the new home is up, we will be ready. Awesome. We're praying for that for you. Most definitely. So we have to be ready for those things. Now, I brought something today that I wanted to share with you because in the sphere and conversation of prepping. So I love to camp, and I actually have a camp planned, Lord willing, in November. And so I usually go the week of Thanksgiving, and so I usually go Monday, Tuesday, come back home on Wednesday to be in time with my family for Thanksgiving. So that's I'm keeping to that tradition, and me and my family will be going camping this year again. So I'm looking forward to that camp, and we've been doing this because my goal is to begin, because when I started I had my truck full of stuff, right? All of my amenities. So you can look at my video of that. But what I'm wanting to do is to cut back on the things that I carry on myself when I go camping. And so I've been looking at a lot of new things online, and I've been starting to buy them for my backpack. And my goal is to camp in Big Bend here in Texas, and to go in with just one backpack, and that's it. And so that's the goal, that's the plan, and I'm prepping up for that. And so all of these trips that I've been taking is leading up to that great adventure, because it's going to be really neat. Because Big Bend here in Texas is more remote than anything. And so I brought something today that I want to share with you. And so I'm going to be honest about the things that I have and the things that I use. I'm not a snob, so I look for the most inexpensive quality items that I can find, and I use those items because, well, I'm not really a rich guy, so I just love to go camping. And so I found this stove that I've been seeing a lot of people use, and I bought it. I bought it on Timu, and I bought this thing for $1. Yeah, for $1. And it is actually a pretty sturdy little stove, and I want to show it to you. So it's an S-bed stove. It is kind of tiny, really small, and this little S-bed stove is good. You can use this to cook. It's a really small stove. It opens up like this, and inside the stove here, in that little tray there in the middle, goes the fuel tablets that you can use to cook. You can also fill this little stove with sticks and twigs and things like that, also to get fuel. And it's really small and compact. That's what I love about it. And you can put your cup on it. You can put a pan on it, and it sits really nice. You can also buy this little extra feature like this. I bought this for $1 also, and it just kind of sets on top here so that you have an actual flat surface for your pots and pans and cups and things like that. So in all, I purchased this and the screen. That was $2, and then this was like maybe $4.99 on Amazon. And so this right here is going to make a formidable small packable stove kit to go. So for camping, right? But you can actually utilize these things even when the grid goes down. And so I will encourage you to look for things, buy small things that you can use, right? If you're looking for a fuel stove that you can put the fuel cans to, those are really cheap on Amazon. They're like maybe $34, and all you need are the fuel cans that look like hairspray cans, and you just put them in and screw it in, and then you just flip the switch, and then you have air. You have fire. So, and those are small. I mean, they're a little bit bigger. Right? Where's my camera? They're a little bit bigger, like maybe like that big. And so, it's good to have those things, because what if the lights go out, right? Not too long ago, I shared with you guys the lights went out, and I was just about to leave work. The lights went out, and when the lights go out here, they go out for a little bit, and I wasn't leaving to work without my coffee. So I took my gas stove out, my little bitty stove, and I made my coffee and left with my coffee even though the lights were out. Why? Because Fernando was prepared, right? So preparedness is not just when the nukes come. It's not just when, the storms are raging. It can just be the lights went out and somebody, maybe a pole came down or something. I don't know. And so, you got to be ready. And what do? You better be prepping, right? So those are just things, small things that you can do to help you and your family when the lights go out. So, that's just a big. It's a little thing that cures a bigger thing, right? So it's good to be prepping. Here in Texas, it's been hot. It's been boiling hot. Those of you that are here on the channel tonight, Kitten can tell you how hot it's been here. Here in the last this last week, actually, we've been in triple digits, and so we're not like Arizona, maybe Nevada, where they have a dry heat. We have a moisture rich heat, so it's really, really steamy, and it's really, really bad. So if you are used to a dry heat and you come to Texas, you will totally melt, because not only do you have the dry heat, but then you have the moisture that's attached to that heat too. So you know, you guys need to be careful with that kind of stuff, because um, heat related illnesses are not good. They're very dangerous, and so it's good to have water on hand all the time. It's good to take water on your person, like you saw in my bag here. I have a spot here where I carry my water bottle, and it's about a liter. This holds a liter of water, and so I carry that with me all the time. That's another thing that makes my bag heavy. But I always have water with me, because I need water, especially that I'm diabetic. I always have to have water. So we should all have access to water, and we should have access to, maybe keep a bandana with you. If you get a bandana and you wet it and you wrap it around your neck, it actually cools you, right? So not only should you have water, should you carry a bandana, but you can get things like this, right? These are my favorite things. My wife bought these, and they're popsicles, right? Right now they're liquid. They haven't been put in the freezer yet, but popsicles are good to cool you down. It's another thing to keep cool in the excessive heat. So do those things, but always, 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 always be drinking water. Try to stay away from sodas and sugary drinks like that, because they will actually dehydrate you more, and you definitely do not want to be dehydrated and then hot and then sweating profusely, because then that leads to heat related illnesses, and you can actually go to the hospital. So how do you know? Well, one of the things that happen to people with heat related issues is they will faint because of the heat. So it's important to always be hydrated. So make sure that you're doing those things. I heard coming out through one of my other channels that I listen to, that Walmart is going to be removing the bulky items from their shelves, like the number 10 cans, the bulk rice and beans. So just be on the lookout for that. I heard that they're going to be taken away from the stores. They're doing a remodel at the little store here that we have here. I've asked the manager one time I went in if that was going to happen. He said it was a possibility that was going to happen, because they're shrinking everything. So be aware of that. There's banks that are closing. I follow a guy. I still need to give you guys that guy's link, and he stays up with this a lot because he is in the financial world. So I will make sure I put that link on my community page so you guys can have that. But there are banks that are closing. There are stores that are closing. He talks about Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and stores like that. 99-cent store. They're going to be closing a lot of stores and laying off a lot of workers. So there's a lot of that happening right now. There's a lot of people being laid off of work. Inflation is high, right? Inflation is really high. It's, I don't know if you guys saw, I posted a picture a while back. We went to Sam's, and they have these big, huge, large tubs of hamburger meat, right? And at Sam's, it's bigger than what you'll find at the grocery store, right? But I remember when I used to go to the store, because my wife does all that. But when I was single and I would go to the store, I remember I would buy the biggest chub at the grocery store, and I would leave the store paying like $12.50 for that all that beef. And so when we went to Sam's, oh my God, this thing of meat was like 45 bucks. And I was like, what? I told my wife, I'm like, when did this happen? Have I been out of the store that long? And so I just, it moved in my heart for people who maybe can't afford a lot of food. And so, I prayed in that moment, asked God, that people that He would help give people the provisions that they need for their families. It's getting harder, and it's important for us as preppers to share the word of prepping, right? I know that the National Geographic Channel didn't do any justice when they had their prepper show, because they made people look crazy. But there's nothing crazy about prepping. It's actually a good thing, and it's a focused thing, right? If you're prepping a pantry, you're focused because you're moving it around, right? You have your pantry, you have your prepping store, and then you have the grocery store that you go to, right? So all of that needs to be rotated. All of that, first in, first out is what I always say. Even if you have a backlog of things on the items that will last, it's okay, right? If they go beyond their sell by date, because that's really just for freshness anyway. And actually, if it's never open, it's fresh, right? So there's that, and if we're working on that, we're focused on that. It's a good thing, because I was in a conversation this week. What if nothing happens, right? I say, well, praise the Lord. I still have, right? Even if nothing happens, I still have. But if I don't, and something happens, then I don't have, right? And so it's so important for us to be sharing, about prepping with our families and what that means, right? And to kind of dispel some of the things that they'll say, because they will say it, because I have family that tells me, Fernando, you're crazy. And I have to always say, I'm not crazy. I'm just preparing for my family, right? And if nothing happens, then praise the Lord. I'm alive and I have provisions. And so, then I have some despair, right, at that point. So, we have to spread that message. It's a biblical thing. When you look at the people in the Bible, they all prepped, right? Jesus even talked about the parable of the bridesmaids, right? Don't let your oil run out of your lamp, because you never know when the bridegroom's coming at night, right? There's that. There's the story of Noah, right? There's the story of Joseph, right? I mean, all of these men who prepared in the Bible, and they are the ones that we are to look to, and they are our example. And so it's important, right, for us to be ready. It's important for us to be prepping. It's important for us to be practicing with our preps. It's important for us to, take the opportunities when things happen to say, okay, what would I do in this situation? I mean it. I don't watch the news anymore to watch the news. I watch the news now to say, how can I prep for that? Or am I prepped for that? Or what would I do in that situation, right? And so, if I watch the news, that's what I'm doing. I'm really not watching it for that. I'm watching, Fernando, what can you do in that situation, right? So make sure you're doing that. Make sure if you are buying self-defense tools, make sure you're doing that, because the prices are going to go higher now. As we get closer, the prices are going to go higher. Um, I know I haven't been yet. I need to go, but I'm pretty sure prices are higher even now. But while we still can, let's go do those things. From buying the tools to buying the cartridges that go in them, right? Make sure you're doing that. Um, we noticed that our trip to Sam's, when we went to buy eggs, that they are limiting um, 2 boxes of eggs per customer. So those restrictions are now coming out. So it has moved me to want to build a chicken coop and keep a couple of chickens. So my prep is now moving from what I do on the inside to now what I do on the outside, right? And so um, I've never had chickens before, but I'm learning, right? So part of prepping is learning, right? If I want to grow a garden, I have to learn. It's not just getting a seed and putting it in dirt and watering it and hoping that it's gonna grow, right? Some plants are like that. Some aren't. Some you have to kind of like, I think the word is germinate them, and then you can plant them. Then they will grow, right? So that's all I know. So if I want to do this next season, all this through the winter, I have to be learning, reading up, learning how to plant, because I would like to plant tomatoes, potatoes, um, peppers, because I like peppers, um, chiles, because I love chile. I love hot chile. Um, I would love to do. I would love to have, you know, all these things, right? But I got to learn how to do it. So I encourage you, if you're prepping and your preps are located inside the house, right? Those are good preps. Don't get me wrong. Do that. Let's learn a new prep, right? What is another prep that I can do that maybe I haven't done, right? If it's planting a garden, that's going to be a lot of work, right? It's outside. It's planting, right? It's watering. It's all that stuff, right? I will tell you, um, go and buy seeds and collect seeds. Always have a stockpile of seeds, right? Those are important. I've started my collecting, but I have not planted yet. My plan is for this new year, in season, to plant so that I can start that process, right? Um, the chickens are another one, right? I'm learning all about keeping chickens and what does that look like and what are the things that I need. I have to build a chicken coop. I'm going to be building a chicken coop soon. I will definitely record that because I'm not a carpenter at all. I may look like one, but I'm not. So I will definitely record that video so that you guys can laugh at Fernando trying to use a tape measure and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be doing those things. These are in the works and in the plans for me to be doing. So I want to encourage you guys to be doing that same thing because it's important for us to be starting to I'm starting to learn to live on my preps, right? That's what I want to move to. Eventually, I would like to have rabbits, right? Eventually, I would like to have different kinds of chickens, right, for different kinds of purposes. Um, that's probably about all I can have in my suburban yard, but at least I want to try that. One of my goals is by the end of December of this year is to create a ham shack for communication. So I'm planning on that. So there's a lot of things that I want to do, and I know myself. I'm gonna pick the easiest ones first, and do those things. So I have a friend who who wants to sell me chickens. And so once I get my chicken coop made and created, we will get that going. I'll make sure to record all that stuff for you guys. But that's what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I know it's a little early, but you guys are probably like me. It's been a long day, and it's time to get some shut eye. So don't forget, try to get some things for yourself, for your family. Other alternatives than what you can have in the kitchen, and that you can use whenever you can't use those things anymore. And start putting a list together. That's what I did. I put a list together of these are the things that I could get for camping, and then as I was doing that list, I'm like, this is a great prepper thing, because if I put this stove in my get home bag, now I have a way to boil water. Now I have a way to cook food on, right? So think about those things. What are some things that you can purchase, and make smart purchases? You don't have to have the Nike product of prepper things, right? My communications are Baofeng radios, and they are $25 on Amazon, and they work perfectly fine. So I'm going to be doing a video on that, and soon. I do have my GMRS license, and so I will do a video on that. But do prepping, right? Ask yourself, what am I going to prep this week, right? Since we're coming to Sunday, what am I going to prep this week? What am I going to do here inside the house prepping? What am I going to do outside the house prepping? What are those things that I can do? If you guys follow my blog, this week I did a blog on prepping your vehicle, right? Because I asked the question last weekend in the socials that I am in on X, and I asked the question, what are you prepping? And someone said, I am going on a trip to get my mom. Okay, what are you prepping? And she's like, I'm going on a trip. I'm like, your car should be prepped, right, for your trip. So I did a blog. She kind of inspired me to do this blog. So I did a blog on how to prep your car. So you can go check that out. It's on my blog site. And like I said, take advantage. Sign up for that stuff. It's free. I love writing that stuff, and so that way you guys can have it in your inbox. So all of that's there. I've done a bunch of blogs on a lot of stuff, from weather-related preps to go bag preps and things like that. So go check that out. You can also see the devotionals that I write there that are always encouraging and uplifting. So if you ever feel down, go there and read that stuff there, right? And let that be the thing that encourages you and gets you through your day. And then check out all my other social media. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook a lot. And I have a Instagram page that I'm trying to learn to be at more often. So check those things out. I'm also in Rumble. Whatever I throw in YouTube, I throw it in Rumble. So here pretty soon, I actually want to go live on both platforms and on TikTok. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm learning. Like I said, I'm learning all this technology stuff. We just got over the hump of the echo. So Prep Rebel is always on me about that. So make sure you take advantage of that, and you can find all my links in the description, and follow me on the other socials. Guys, I hope you have a great Sunday tomorrow. Get some rest tonight, and look forward to seeing you next week through the videos. Tongue got stuck. through the videos we create, and on the community page there, I always throw some stuff out there, and I'm always trying to be positive in everything that I throw. So my Facebook page, you can follow that too. I have a personal one, and then I also have the God's Prepared Warrior one. So just check them out and follow me along, and let's encourage one another, right? We need each other. We need each other. We need to learn from each other, right? I'm not the smartest person in the world when it comes to prepping. There are a lot of people that are more smarter than I am. I'm learning as I go, and when I learn, I like to share what I learn, right? So, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask me questions. I'll answer you. That's why I always tell you, leave your comments in the videos, leave your comments in here, because I love reading what you guys post, and it's encouraging to me. So, but let's keep praying for one another, and let's just be praying for our world. Man, our world is upside down. There's a lot of stuff happening, not just here where we live, but all the way across the other side of the world. So let's be praying. Let's be praying and asking God to just kind of take over and to do all of those things for us, because we need God. We totally need God. We can't do this life alone without Him. So I just want to encourage you guys. I want to share a scripture verse with you. One of my favorite scripture verses, I have several of them, but one of my favorite is Philippians 4:13, that says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And so, you might be saying, Fernando, well, I'm not really that strong. And I will tell you, you know what? That's okay. You have your own strength. But when you rely on God, He gives you the strength you need that you lack. And so I just want to encourage you guys, trust in the Lord. And He's the one that's going to direct your steps. He is our light. And so I would encourage you to keep Him close. So guys, thank you for joining me tonight on God's Prepared Warrior Roundtable Live. I'm so excited that you guys hung out with me, and I look forward to seeing you again. And as we plan for next weekend's live, I hope to see you soon. I'm going to be talking to you about some affiliate things that I'm doing next week, so I'll be sharing that with you guys. So God bless you guys, and have a good night, and have a good weekend, rest of the weekend. And then as you start your work week, trust in the Lord. He'll always get you through it. All right, guys, stay vigilant, stay prepared, and remember, God is our mighty fortress. And look forward to talking